Hello everyone, Sean here from Breakthrough Bootcamp and welcome to our Sunday bodyweight workout, which means no equipment needed. Everything is going to be bodyweight. We're going to do a very simple format and that's a Tabata workout. So for those of you who don't know what Tabata is, just a timing scheme. So 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 8 total sets. Each group is going to have 2 exercises. We're going to alternate between those 2 for 8 sets. We're going to go through 4 rounds. We'll go one at a time so I don't overwhelm you with too many exercises at once. We'll move relatively quick. I will show you some ways to make the workout harder or easier. Since we have a bunch of new people joining in today, I decided to keep it relatively simple, but there's ways that you can make it harder. There's ways to make it easier as well. Before any workout, the first thing we want to do is we want to get into that warm-up, and then we'll get started. All right, so just find some space and start with a nice light jog on the spot. Nice and slow. I'm just going to fix my camera, bring it up. Nice and slow, jog on the spot. Better. Always start nice and slow with the warm-up and then progressively speed it up as you go, especially if you're just waking up. All right, let's bring those knees up. So same thing, you're just going a little faster now. You're bringing those knees up. What we're trying to do here is just get that blood flowing to the muscles, wake up the nervous system. We'll do this for a few more seconds, and then we'll move on to some more specific muscle warm-ups. All right, next we're going to do some arm circles. So we're just warming up the shoulders here. And you want to switch these up. So don't just do the same circles over and over again. Some forward, some reverse, some smaller circles, some bigger circles. Got a lot going on in that shoulder joint, so you want to make sure you work all of those muscles with the different angles as well. All right, next we're going to go hands together. We're going to rotate side to side. For this one, I like to keep my feet anchored in the ground, so I'm not pivoting side to side. However, if you prefer to do that, that's fine. You're just fine when you anchor the feet in the ground. You're working more of those core muscles, and we're also getting the upper back and shoulders warmed up here as well. Try to keep those arms relatively straight, shoulders down and back. Next, we're going to get into a wide stance. We're going to do some side lunges. I want you reaching that one hand to your opposite foot, and then just go side to side. You can do this one with the other hand staying down, or the way I prefer it is raising up the opposite side. What this does is it changes it from just a lower body warm-up to a full body warm-up, engaging some of those back and shoulder muscles too. Try to get into a wide stance here. Extend that one leg, and the opposite leg, and keep your back nice and straight. All right, next we're going to do a hip hinge. We're going to do a row to reverse fly. So I want you to push those hips back, chest up, back straight, row, and reverse fly. Notice there's not much momentum here coming from my lower body or my torso. Once I'm in that hip hinge position, it's just held, and I do the row and reverse fly from there. Weight is on my heels. Hamstrings are active here. So we're warming up those mid and upper back muscles, great postural muscles here that we need day to day. Next, we're going to do some squats. So you can go wider stance, you can go narrow stance. A lot of how your squat's going to look is determined by, 1, how flexible or mobile you are. 2, just your anatomy. Some people have different anatomy in the hips that allow them to either get down deeper or not deep enough. If you're one of those people who struggle to squat with depth, wider stance, toes out. Makes it a little easier, just don't over-exaggerate. Next, we're going to do a swing. So feet about hip width apart, hips back, push those hips forward. Weight, once again, on the heels, back is straight. The movement here is coming from the hips, not from the knees, not from the back. Very slight bend of the knee, both knees. Back stays straight the whole time, but you want to feel a really deep stretch back to your legs. And then as you stand up, squeeze those bum muscles. And finally, let's finish with some jumping jacks. So same thing here as we did with the high knees. Just trying to get that blood flowing. Loosen up the muscles before we get started. All right, game time. So Tabata workout, we have 6 groups, 2 exercises per group. Once we're done everything, we do have an ab finisher. This workout's gonna be a little bit longer than our traditional boot camp workout, so if you have to run, you go after the Tabata. No equipment needed here, we'll go one at a time. First one, we're gonna start with push-ups. Just regular push-ups, either on your toes or on your knees. So you do that for 20 seconds. 10-second transition, we're gonna do skater jumps. So I want you on one foot, you're gonna push off side to side. Try to land in that squat. Notice when I land, I'm able to hold back and my knee tracks over my feet. Start slow, get the hang of it. Once you get the hang of it, once you're really focused on exploding off side to side. So those are the 2 exercises we're gonna do first. During that 1-minute break, I'll explain the second, third, and fourth as we go. So we'll start with this one, alternate between those 2 exercises, and I will set up the timer for you. Okay, so remember the timing here is 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, alternating between those 2 exercises, 8 sets. All right. Starting 10 seconds with the push-ups. There we go. All right, 3, 2, 1, push-ups, let's go. So either on your toes or your knees. Most important thing here with the push-up is that you get that depth. So full range of motion with the push-up means you should be able to kiss the ground. If you're not able to get that low, drop down to your knees or change up your hand position a little more. 3, 2, 1, take 10 seconds. Next, we're gonna do the skater jump. So on one foot, you're gonna push off side to side. All right, 3, 2, 1, knee up, push, side to side. Great exercise here for not only the lower body, but also cardio, conditioning, and explosiveness. You're gonna test your hip stability, your quads, and your ankle stability as well. Once you get the hang of it, speed it up. 3, 2, 1. All right, round 2. Back to the push-ups again. Keep alternating between those 2. 3, 2, 1, and go. So push-ups, one of those exercises everyone assumes should be an easy one because everyone does them. But push-ups actually are a really complex movement. So make sure you're engaging your core. Squeeze your abs. Pretend like someone's about to punch you in the stomach, and then go down from there. Don't let your hips drop. 3, 2, 1. Next, we have skater jumps. If you want to make this one easier, just shorten the stride. 3, 2, 1, and go. So this one here is going to work a lot of hips, a lot of those glute muscles, not just to strengthen and build them, but to stabilize when you do exercises that are either explosive or just a lower body heavy movement. So really good bang for your buck exercise here. 3, 2, 1. Back to push-ups. Halfway, 4 down, 4 to go. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and go. Now you'll notice with the Tabata, each round gets progressively tougher. So the first round or 2, just make sure you get into the rhythm of things, get that technique down, and then you'll notice the intensity creep up as the sets go on. Almost there. Keep going. Keep that technique down pat. 3, 2, 1. Skater jumps up next. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and go. Make sure you're able to hold each position for about half a second to a second with each rep. Back stays straight the whole time. You're not rounding from that low back, and then you're just exploding once you know you have that stability. 3, 2, 1. One more round, so one more of each. Back to push-ups up next. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So while there's no right or wrong positioning for your hands during the push-up, the ideal way to do it is what we call an arrow shape. So the elbows are kind of pushed back, not necessarily touching the rib cage, but close, and the hands are right under your armpits. Try not to flare out too much. 2, 1. All right, last one here, skater hops. Take a 1-minute break after this, and I'll explain the next one. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and go. Remember, if you're struggling with this one, slow, short strides. If you feel good, Really explosive, fast rise. Hips back, landing in a squat position. Right to the end, guys. Keep going. 3, 2, 1, and break. All right, group 2. We're going to start here with body weight dips. Hands under your shoulders. I like to angle the toes out to the side, but you can go forward or back if you prefer. I just find this a bit easier on the shoulders. Next, you're going to bend the elbows, drop the hips, extend the elbows, you drive the hips up. The key for this one is make sure the movement comes from the elbows, not from the shoulders and the hips primarily. Second one, push-up position, mountain climbers. So this group, we're going to work a lot of triceps from the dips, shoulders from the dips and the climbers, and then cardio from the mountain climbers as well. We'll start in 20 seconds with the dips. Keep an eye out on your elbow here. The key is getting a good flexion and extension. Too many people keep the arms straight and swing from the shoulders. Try to prevent that from happening. Let's get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So get into that position, hips up, shoulders down, flex those elbows, and then extend. And as you extend, I want you to squeeze those triceps, those muscles in the back of your arms as hard as you can when that elbow is fully extended. This one you should feel the triceps. 3, 2, 1. Take 10. Mountain climbers up next. Push-up position, knee to chest. 3, 2, 1, and go. So start slow until you get the hang of it. The front foot should be hovering off the ground. By far the most common mistake here is touching the foot on the ground. You want to slow it down first. Make sure the front foot's not touching. Once you get the hang of it, speed it up. 3, 2, 1. All right, back to the dips. This one, as we progress, you're really going to feel that upper body work. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and go. Hips up. Watch your elbows. That's the key. If your elbows are straight the whole time, you're not doing a true dip. You're just working your shoulders and your hips, but not your triceps. You've got 10 seconds to go. If you want to elevate your hands on a chair or a couch, you can do that as well. 3, 2, 1. All right, next we have mountain climbers. So remember to watch that front foot here. I guarantee some people are probably doing that right now, where they're tapping the foot. Try to prevent that. Ready? Let's go. So the key is starting slow. Stop for a sec. Most of you who have been training with me for a while can probably do this really quick. But you got to start at that bottom. Make sure that your front foot isn't touching the ground. Much easier on the back and the knees. And then you can turn this into a great cardio exercise. 3, 2, 1. Halfway. 4 down, 4 to go. Back to the dips. 3, 2, 1. Hips up, shoulders down, flex, and extend. Really simple test to determine if you're doing this one right. If you're feeling it in the triceps, you're doing it right. If you're not feeling it in the triceps by the end of this set, you're probably not bending the elbows enough on the way down. Try to fix that right away. 3, 2, 1. Back to mountain climbers. All right, 3, 2, 1, and go. So hopefully by now you're getting the hang of it. Once you get the hang of it, try to speed up those reps. Hands should be directly under your shoulders. Core is engaged, so you're not dropping the hips. And don't lift up the hips too high. That's another common mistake when people get tired. Neutral spine. 3, 2, 1. All right, one more of each. We'll go back to the dips. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So flex them and extend. And if any of you are struggling and joining along live right now, don't feel your triceps, just come talk to me after the workout. You show me your technique and I'll be able to correct it right away, hopefully. 3, 2, 1. All right, last one. Mountain climbers, and then we'll take a nice minute break again. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Final set here. So try to speed it up, count your reps, do whatever you got to do to go as fast as you can with good form. Because this one here should be a great cardio exercise. No equipment needed, so really good bang for your buck. Almost there. Keep pushing as fast as you can. 3, 2, 1, and break. All right, so group 3. We're going to start with the reverse plank. So this is a tougher plank variation. I'm going to show you 2 ways you can do it. The toughest way to do it, which is the variation that I prefer, start on your elbows, dig in with the heels, lift your hips up, and hold that position. So here you're working the triceps and upper back. You can also go on your hands. Much easier. If you're not comfortable with that, lay down. You can go on your shoulders and back as well. If you can't do that, regular plank. Second one here, jumping lunges. Chest up, back straight. If you're not comfortable with that, any body weight lunge variation to slow things down. We'll start in 20 seconds with the reverse plank. This one is deceivingly difficult, so it's not going to work the abs as much as a regular plank, but the entire backside. So either on your elbows or your hands, or you can lay down in a bridge. Let's get ready. In 3, 2, 1, and go. Keep your legs straight, keep your shoulders down. The way I'm doing it is the toughest variation here. You're going to feel it in the entire backside. So calves, hamstrings, glutes, low back, mid back, upper back, triceps. Keep those legs nice and straight. 3, 2, 1. All right, jumping lunges here. So jumping lunges is going to be more of an advanced exercise. I'll show you what to do if you can't do it. 3, 2, 1. This is the jumping lunge. If you're not comfortable with that, just slow things down. Regular lunge, whether it's forward, reverse, static. With the jumping lunge, really going to get that heart rate up, really burns those quads. Keep that chest up. Keep your back straight. 3, 2, 1. So back to the reverse plank. I'll show you the variation on your hands now, if you weren't able to go on your elbows. 3, 2, 1, and go. So on the hands, a little bit easier. You got more range of motion to work with, bigger muscles supporting you. Remember, if you're not comfortable with this, just flip over in a plank. Everyone's at a different level, so you don't have to follow along with all these tough variations. Slow things down. That's what this workout is meant for. 3, 2, 1. All right, jumping lunges up next. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and go. So if you're new to working out or if you're new to breakthrough, don't feel like you have to keep up. Most people following along right now, I've been training here for a long time. So what I always do is start with the hardest possible variation and then give you alternatives to modify. So modify if you need to. 3, 2, 1, halfway. 4 down, 4 to go. Reverse plank. You'll notice this group gets a little tougher than the first 2. Ready, and go. So reverse plank. These type of exercises where we work the posterior chain, so the back part of our body, really important because most of us tend to focus on the front part. So there usually is a little bit of an imbalance. 3, 2, 1. Back to jumping lunge. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Another great way to modify these workouts, if you need a longer break, take longer than 10 seconds. Take an extra set or 2 off. There's no shame in taking longer breaks or modifying, especially if you're just starting out. So don't get discouraged. 3, 2, 1. One more of each, back to the reverse plank. 3, 2, 1. So I would say both of these exercises, the reverse plank and the jumping lunge, are relatively advanced. So I bet a good portion of people will be modifying. Dig in with your heels here. Keep your toes pointed up towards the ceiling. 3, 2, 1. Last one, jumping lunge. Then we'll take a break. Okay, ready, and go. In case you haven't noticed, the timer on the screen is behind me, so if I'm not announcing the time and you want to see how much time is left, check out that TV. Keep you honest. Last set here. Back knee nice and low to the ground. 3, 2, 1, and break. All right, let's take 1 minute. The next group is going to be all lower body. We're going to start with a squat pulse. So you're staying low, never fully extending, staying in that squat position, short range of motion squats. Want to make it easier? Come up all the way. Second one, leg extension. So push-up position, hips back, knees back, and then extend. What you're trying to do here is get as much flexion in your knees as you can. So try to push your hips back towards your heels. Both of these should really work your quads. We'll start in 25 seconds with the squat pulses. So focus on low, short range of motion, not all the way down, not all the way up, but in that middle. Constant tension on your quads the whole time. That's what we're going for with this exercise. Okay, let's get in position. 3, 2, 1, and go. Squat pulses. Make sure your back is straight too. What happens is the legs get tired sometimes. You end up going more from the back, like this. And then your back starts to hurt. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to work the legs. Upright with the chest. Let those legs do the work. 3, 2, 1. Leg extension. So push-up position. This one might take a try or two if you're not used to it. Keep practicing. You will get the hang of it. Okay, ready? Let's go. So starting a push-up position. Don't move your feet or your hands. Just bend the knees and push your hips back. And then extend. Nice and slow. Try to get your butt to touch your feet and then extend. The knees stay low to the ground the whole time. When you extend, you're squeezing those quads. 3, 2, 1. All right, back to the pulse squats. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. For those of you who want a really advanced workout, you can do this one with weights. 1 dumbbell, 2 dumbbells, your call. You can also make this workout tougher just by taking out the breaks or shortening the breaks. Those of you who are at a really advanced level. 3, 2, 1, back to the leg extensions. This group in particular, the cumulative effects should really burn your quads. Get that lactic acid. Ready, and go. Nice and slow. Knees are low, hips are low. Stretching out those arms. Make sure you don't move your feet or your hands. Take a couple tries. If you can't get it, just practice after this workout. Get yourself on video, look in the mirror, and try to correct from there. 2, 1, halfway. 4 down, 4 to go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Squat pulses. So you want your knees tracked right over your feet. Make sure those knees aren't caving in either. Feet should be equally distributed with the pressure points. So one in the heel, one in the left part of the ball of your foot, and then one in the right part. 3, 2, 1, leg extensions. In 3, 2, 1. So not as much cardio here as the last set, but a lot more intentional quad activation. So there's basically tension on your legs the entire time. You don't get that break because both exercises really work in the same area here. 3, 2, 1. One more round, so one more of each. 3, 2, 1. Squat pulses. So make sure the feet aren't moving. Make sure the heels are not coming off the ground. Chest stays up, back stays straight. Legs doing the work. They should be burning now if you're doing things right. 3, 2, 1. Last one here, leg extensions. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and go. Last set. 20 last seconds here. And then we'll take a break and move on to the next one. This is group 4 of 6. So we got 2 more Tabata groups plus an ab finisher at the end. 3, 2, 1, and break. All right. Next one, we're going to start with a bear tap. So you're going to get into a plank position. Bend the knees so that your knees are right under your hips. Back is straight. Hold this position. Tap opposite shoulders. That's a tough variation. So if you can't do that, try bear hold, or plank taps, or hold the plank. Second one is going to be a side bridge. So you can, I'll pause the timer. You can either start with your heels stacked, drop down, drive up. If you want to make it a little easier, cross your feet, drop the hip, drive up. You can even drop the knee and drive down and up from that hip. If you want to make this one a little tougher, you go leg, down, and up. Down, and up. Working the entire side of your body. So obliques, adductors, abductors. Start this one in 30 seconds. So we'll start with the bear taps first. Remember, if you're not comfortable with this one, there's so many ways you can modify bear hold, plank taps, plank hold. And then the second one will be the side bridge. Each round with the side bridge, we're going to switch sides, so you're not always doing the same side. So bear taps, the key is to look at your knees. Make sure they're not coming up too high. Look at the hips. Make sure you're not over-rotating. The more stability here, the better. Let's get ready. In 3, 2, 1, bear position. Look at the knees, back straight, tap your opposite shoulder. So this one here, we're working your shoulders, we're working your core, and we're working quads. Looks easy, but it's actually a really advanced core stability exercise. 3, 2, 1. Let's get into that side bridge. So remember, you can make this one easier by crossing the feet over or dropping the knee. But I'm going to show the toughest variation first. Ready, and go. So drop down, drive up. By extending that upper leg, you're just doing another outside part of the hip muscle here and the adductors. So you're just making it a little tougher than it otherwise would be if you just did the bridge without the leg lift. 3, 2, 1. We'll go back to the bear taps. Next time we do the side bridge, switch sides. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I'll show you the variation if you can't do the bear tap. So if you can't tap, try to hold. The hold is still tough, but the taps make it so much tougher because you're using all of those small stabilizer muscles to prevent your body from rotating. And it does require quite a bit of core strength to do that. So the hold makes it a little bit easier. 3, 2, 1. So side bridge on the other side. I'll show you what it looks like without the leg kick. 3, 2, 1, and go. So you're just going to drop down, drive up. That's the bridge. So the bridge, you're going to work the obliques on the bottom and the hips on the bottom. Really effective core exercise here as well. A lot of core work today. Not every piece of core work has to be directed in the abs. 2, 1, halfway. 4 down, 4 to go. I'll show you another variation if you can't do the bear taps. So remember, bear taps, opposite shoulder in the bear position. Ready, let's go. You can try plank taps, which is a little bit easier. It takes the quads out of the equation a bit more, not as much core stability required, but you still do get that anti-rotation, which is important. If you can't do that, just hold your high plank. Back stays straight, core is engaged. 3, 2, 1. Back to the side bridge. This time I'll show you with the foot cross over if you can't stack the feet. Okay, 3, 2, 1. So you can cross over. Let that one leg provide additional support. So that way there's not as much body weight that you're driving up and down, holding up. But you should feel this one in your obliques primarily. Make sure you're not caving in. Keep your back straight. 3, 2, 1. One more round. Bear taps, side bridge, and then we'll move on to the final group. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Bear taps. Let's go. This one's just like the Terminator. A good tip I like to use. As you lift one hand off the ground, simultaneously push down into the ground with the other side. It's going to help create a little bit more tension and stability. So look at your knees here. Keep them stable. 3, 2, 1. Last set here, side bridge. So hopefully you found a modification that works best for you. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So by adding that leg lift, we just turned it into a full body exercise here. Much more challenging. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and break. All right, last set here, we're gonna turn it up, pure cardio. So we're gonna start with high knees, just like we did during the warm-up, looking for more speed. Second one is gonna be a burpee tuck jump. So 2 parts. We're gonna do a regular burpee, and then you're gonna come up, bring those knees up. Or you can go chest to ground burpee and knees up. If you wanna make this one tougher or easier, you can go hands on an elevated surface and not add the tuck jump. You can go regular burpee without the tuck jump. If that's too hard, jumping jacks. Just remember the goal here is to get your heart rate up, make it a final cardio station. So high knees, burpee tuck jump. Last group here. We'll slow things down after this for an ab finisher. We'll get started in 10 seconds with the high knees. Looking for speed here. So if you got some gas left in the tank, give it your all. All right, 3, 2, 1, and go. So sprinting on the spot with the high knees, you're in the active position. So you're on the balls of your feet, heels off the ground. Once you get the hang of it, speed it up. Keep breathing. Make sure you're not holding your breath. 3, 2, 1. So burpee tuck jump for those advanced. If not, elevated burpee. If not, jumping jacks. You got a bunch of different options here. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So burpee and jump. The tuck jump, you're just trying to get your knees up to your chest. You don't have to do it. It requires a lot of athleticism, a lot of explosiveness, but it does make it just a little bit tougher. 3, 2, 1. One round down. So we're going to keep that heart rate elevated the entire time here. 3, 2, 1. High knees. Let's go. So this entire group is going to really challenge your cardio, your endurance, your stamina, and most of all, your conditioning. So I'll be able to tell who's been working out throughout this lockdown versus who has not been based off this set. 3, 2, 1. Burpee tuck jump up next. 3, 2, 1. If you're not comfortable with the chest to ground, you can do a regular burpee, hand on the ground, just to make it a little bit easier. Shortens that range of motion, less upper body strength required, less explosiveness required as well, but still a very challenging variation. 3, 2, 1. All right, halfway, 4 down, 4 to go. High knees coming up. 3, 2, 1, let's go. The key here is try to keep up that same pace and speed as you had in the first set, compared all the way to the very last set. That's a sign of really good conditioning. 3, 2, 1. 3 more. Burpee tuck jump. 3, 2, 1. Remember, you can do elevated burpees here. So the higher you lift your hands on a surface, the easier it's going to be. The lower you get down, the tougher it's going to be. You don't have to add the tuck jump, but it does provide that extra element. 3, 2, 1. One more round. So one more of each. We'll take a much longer break. We'll finish with some abs. Ready and go. So high knees, sprinting on the spot here. Find your breath, find your rhythm, and keep it up. Three, 2, 1. Last set here. Burpee tuck jump. Final set for the Tabatas. Okay, ready and go. Last 20 seconds. Keep up that speed. Keep up that explosiveness. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and break. All right, well, let's switch up the timer here. Grab some water, rest up. I'll get into the next one. The next one is going to be nothing but abs. 20 seconds, no break between. So we're going to go all 7 exercises back to back, 20 seconds each. We're going to go through 3 rounds. We're going to take, how long? We're going to give you 30-second break after each round. So 3 total rounds. By the 3rd, you want to feel those abs really burning. First one here is going to be a basic hollow hold on your back. Most important thing for this one is that your low back stays flat. So low back on the ground. Start by kind of grabbing your knees. Lift the legs up, arms back. Find a position where your low back is flat on the ground. If your back starts to arch, crunch up or bend the knees to make it easier. Don't want to hold this position with your back arch. Otherwise, you're going to feel it in the back where you should feel it directly in your abs. Second one is a V crunch. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can either go hands up, which is the tougher way, more range of motion, or hands down. If you're going hands down, you don't have to go all the way down, but make sure as your legs are extending and bending, your torso is also moving back and forth. The next one is going to be a crunch. The crunch, you can either have feet down or feet up. You're just going to crunch up. So not looking for a full sit-up here. Lower back stays on the ground, just the shoulders and shoulder blades come up. After that, we're going to transition to bicycle crunches. So feet up, extend one leg, elbows opposite knee. Take your time. No need to rush right through that one. Nice and slow. After that, Spider-Man plank. So low plank position. Try to get that knee to your elbow, shifting that weight back and forth. Then without moving the legs, you're going to shift your weight back and forth with a body saw, and then we'll finish with leg lifts. Keep your legs straight. Lift one leg off the ground at a time. Alternate legs. We'll start in about 20 seconds with the hollow hold. 3 rounds here, 20 seconds each, no break between. If you have to take breaks, of course, take as many as you need. But this one should really hit your abs. All right, let's get in position. We're going to start first with the hollow hold. 10-second warning. So on your back, find that flat position. That's the key. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. So find that position, legs out, arms back. And all you're going to hear is you're just holding that position. Once that buzzer goes off, you're going to go right into a V crunch. You can go hands up or hands down for that V crunch. 3, 2, 1. So I'll show you hands up. Let's go. Find that rhythm. Hands down, same idea. Moving your legs and your torso, finding that balance. Next, we're going to do crunches. I prefer feet down. Save your hip flexors a little bit. 3, 2, 1. So feet down or feet up. Crunch up. Make sure you're crunching from your hips and your abs, not pulling your neck. Breathing the whole time. After this, we have bicycle crunches. Feet will be up and you want to slow it down. 3, 2, 1. So feet up, crunch to one side. The goal here is to get that one knee or one elbow as close to the other knee as you can. If you can touch, great. If not, get as close as possible. Spider-Man plank coming up next. 3, 2, 1. So low plank. Might take you a few seconds to transition, but that's okay. Then you're trying to get that knee outside your elbow. You can shift your weight back and forth as you do this as well. After this, we're going to do a body saw, so no movement from the legs. 3, 2, 1, body saw, so shift back and forth. Make sure the hips don't drop down too low here, otherwise the back takes over, and you don't want that. Plank leg lifts will be next. 3, 2, 1, so regular plank, leg lift. After this, we'll take a 30-second break. That means we're done round 1. Keep your legs as straight as you can. You're going to feel this one a little bit in the glutes as well. 3, 2, 1, and break. 1 down, 2 to go. This one here is a pretty serious ab finisher. As you get going, it's going to get tougher and tougher as well. So Take breaks if you need them. Modify as needed. Don't really care what you do, as long as you choose an exercise that you can feel it in the abs. So feel free to choose one of mine, pick one of yours, and switch them up. Totally fine with me. We'll start with that hollow hold in a few seconds. All right, 3, 2, 1. So find that position. If you want to grab your knees, keep going out. The farther you can go, the better. I like to hold this one with my shoulders off the ground. It does make it tougher, but it also ensures that my low back is flat. So as soon as I do this, back starts to arch. Next, we have a V crunch. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. So a V crunch, you can go hands up like this, you can go hands down. This one's a little advanced as well, so if you have to modify this one, no problem. Regular crunch is coming up next. 3, 2, 1. So feet down or feet up, and crunch. So very short range of motion here, which should be enough to get your abs on fire. This is a really isolated movement, so it only works those six-pack muscles here. Bicycles are next. In 3, 2, 1, feet up, crunch one side, extend that opposite leg. And then after this, we're going to transition to that Spider-Man plank. 10 to go. In 3, 2, 1, Spider-Man plank. So low plank. Bring that knee out. Make sure, just like the mountain climber here, you don't want that front foot touching the ground. Hovering off the ground the whole time. Body saw coming up next. 3, 2, 1. So here you're just shifting your weight back and forth. Using your toes and your elbows just to shift your weight forward. I'm not bending my knees. I'm not doing anything to the rest of my body. I'm just allowing it to shift back and forth. Next, we're going to do those leg lifts. Last one. 3, 2, 1. So plank position, leg lifts. So 2 things you want to remember here. Keep your legs straight on both sides. Make sure you're not stacking the hips. So keep your hips square down to the ground. 3, 2, 1, and break. One more round, guys. One more round, then we are all done for today. We'll start once again with the hollow hold. Go through one more of each. 20 seconds per exercise. Make sure you're also breathing during these core exercises as well. You don't want to hold your breath. It's important to engage your core and breathe simultaneously. All right, hollow hold. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Find that position. The higher your legs are, the easier it's going to be. Lower your legs are, harder it's going to be. Both variations are fine as long as you feel in your abs and that low back stays flat. After this, we're going to do a V crunch. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. So the knees come in as the chest comes in too. And then the knees go out and the torso moves back. After this, we have regular crunches. 3, 2, 1, crunches. Let's go. So all you're trying to do here is get those shoulders off the ground and most of the shoulder blades as well. By now, your abs are going to be tired, so your range of motion will probably be a little shorter, and that's okay. Bicycle crunches will be up next. 3, 2, 1, feet up, crunch, and rotate. So bicycles, not just working your abs, but obliques as well as you rotate and move side to side. Spider-Man planks coming up. In 3, 2, 1, so low plank, knee to elbow. Almost there, 3 more sets. I know it's a tough one, guys. Remember, it's better to do a hard exercise or a hard workout and make it easier than have something that starts off as too easy and you didn't finish off strong. So it's okay if you modify, but keep pushing. Body saws next. Ready? Let's go. Shift back and forth. 2 more sets. We got less than a minute to go. The plank leg lifts will be up next to finish things off. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Leg lifts. By now, abs should be on fire. Don't worry, it's not you. Everyone is in the same boat right now. We've got 10 seconds to go. In 3, 2, 1, and done. That's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the Tabata and ab workout. If you survived the whole thing, crushed it. So great job. Hope you have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And for those of you who are new, I will see you next week.